unicorns! This place is amazing! Hey, friend. Good to see you. This place is incredible! Investigator Vale never went to Oblivion in any of her stories, so I wasn't sure what to expect. I was nervous when Lyrinth said I had to use a portal to get here, but this is great! And you're here now, so it's even better. A lot of crazy talk about conquest, Mehrunes Dagon, and staining the world with the blood of their enemies, but nothing more about the ambitions. Ugh, it's so frustrating. I definitively could tell that Emperor Leovic had certain records destroyed. Yeah, sorry. I know Lyrinth was counting on me to come up with some clue to follow. I thought I had a lead about one of their holdings, but I hit a dead end. It seems like the Longhouse Emperors took all the information with them to their graves. Mostly helping out around Leowin, and I did a couple of small tasks for Governor Keshu, rounding up a few stray cultists, that sort of thing. Otherwise, it's been pretty quiet. Until Lyrinth contacted me, that is. She gave me the highlights. Weird Cataclysm devices, Sister Seldina, that evil Knockfrost guy. I'm sorry I wasn't there to help. I can't wait to meet the Anchorite, though. I always thought about getting a mask, like the Green Hood or the Scarlet Judge. She sent one of her creepy followers to bring me messages. That Rogatina woman. Letters mostly, but Lyrinth did stop by to give me final instructions on how to get to Fargrave. I got to use a portal key. That was exciting.
The Longhouse documents were no help, and I still haven't heard any word from my contacts. Our next chance can be found at the House of Whims.
The House of Whims? That sounds intriguing.
Meet me at the House of Whims. It's time to explore the Anchorite's memories. Ardent hope. We must examine your memories.
So you're the Anchorite, huh? Neat mask.
Thanks. I like your bow, too.
Let us begin. Mortal, use the memory vessel to capture fragments of the Anchorite's recollections as the ritual progresses.
I know I agreed to take part in this ritual, but now I'm not so sure. Since my memories all came flooding back to me, I haven't been able to make sense of a fraction of them. I'm not sure what Madam Wim will find, or if it will actually help. No, not at all. I just doubt we're going to turn up anything useful. I got 20 years of memories restored in a few seconds. It may take more than a single ritual to sift through them all. Besides, there may not be any that can actually help us. Maybe. So far, though, I've had no luck making sense of all the memories. They still feel like they belong to somebody else, you know? Hey, have you noticed that Lyrinth is more serious than usual? A little more scary? Probably nothing, right? Yeah. Strange doesn't even begin to cover how I felt when he addressed me directly at Ardent Hope. Well, go ahead and grab the memory vessel and let's get this started. Who knows? Maybe we'll get some answers after all.
Use the vessel to collect the memory fragments when they appear. I will use the Anchorite's amulet as a focus.
Is this supposed to hurt?
There, a memory fragment. Take it.
The legacy of the Longhouse Emperors flows through her veins.
Keep going. We're close.
Another memory fragment. Take it before it disperses.
You are a tool, nothing more. Fulfill your purpose, or you will be discarded.
No! Please, make it
it stop! You're hurting her! Stop! Stop this now!
Foolish mortals! You try my patience!
The anchorite's memories are too scattered, unfocused. She has not yet come to grips with the fact that these newly restored memories belong to her. Let me see the memory vessel. Perhaps we were able to gather something useful after all. Ah, this is a very early memory. The anchorite as a babe, hearing her father's voice. I can use this, yes. Another early memory, but this time her father's voice is cold, commanding. These fragments vibrate with emotional veracity, a signature of sorts. I can use that to scry the location of the Longhouse Emperor, or, more accurately, his soul. If you find the Emperor, you can talk to him. Get the information you need, directly from Morakar himself. I sense he is imprisoned in the Deadlands, in the Brandfire Reformatory. Take the Anchorite's amulet. It will lead you to the Emperor's soul. As I understand it, the amulet was a gift from father to daughter. Its connection to Morakar is strong. Use it in the Reformatory and it will lead you to him. However, what state his soul will be in after decades of torture, I do not know.
It's my amulet and my memories, so I'm going with you.
Very well. Take the anchorite and explore this memory. See where it leads. Meanwhile, I will begin the hunt for Sombren and Kalia.
You shouldn't go alone, Lyrinth. I'll join you.
How distrustful, Evely. Fine. Mortal, we will find you when we have word.
Don't just stand there, Scampfoot. Hide! Get down! Don't let those entrail suckers take you too! You really don't know anything about where you are, do you? That's the Brandfire Reformatory. Nothing good happens there. The Order of the Waking Flame cult takes people inside, and they don't leave again. It makes this one's fur stand on end. No, this one just saw the cultist force her sister Pebiha inside. If Tufe could fight, those kin-cursed cultists would be hanging above a lava flow by their ears. Tufe cannot help Pebiha now. Would you look for her? Tufe can pay.
Pibiha's harebrained adventures have gotten her into trouble in the past, but being kidnapped to the Brandfire Reformatory? If Pibiha is unharmed, this one may just maim her herself. Please, find out what has happened to her. Pibiha tries everything at least once, especially if she knows it's a bad idea. When Mehrunes' cult gained power in Fargrave, Pibiha was curious about them. She went to one of the cult's meetings with a friend. They never came home. You think this one didn't ask her the same thing when Pibiha told her where she was going? Pibiha scoffed, said that she didn't have anything to fear or gain from Mehrunes. Then she called the fire cat a kitten and laughed. She laughed! Others call him Mehrunes Dagon. Khajiit know him as Mehrunes, the kitten. He is not feared by many Khajiit. This one is beginning to wonder if that is a mistake. Because this one followed her, she hoped to convince her flame-fried sister not to do anything stupid. But the cult moved quickly. Pibiha was shoved through a portal out of Fargrave, and there wasn't time to think. Tufe had to jump through too. You've been wandering out here, and you haven't run into them yet? They're everywhere! The Waking Flame is Mehrunes' newest mortal cult. They appeared in Fargrave a short while ago, and already have a surprising amount of members. That is something Tufe does not know. But since they follow Mehrunes, this one is sure that whatever those sand-eating beetle feeders are up to, it will bring pain and suffering to the rest of us. It might be a trick of the heat, but Tufe thinks she sees the faces of prisoners on the cultists who walk out. If this one's eyesight is true, then what goes on in the reformatory makes her feel like beetles are crawling through her fur. Word of this place came to Fargrave, our home, from the mouths of merchants. They say it's a maze where those the Waking Flame finds unworthy are left to rot. Pibiha used to laugh about that. Because this one sister, despite her lack of self-preservation, is a fairly logical person. She said that no cult or Daedra would let their prisoners be wasted like that. They'd be sacrificed at the very least. Now the cult has Pibiha. No, none of the merchants know what happens inside. Anyone taken inside isn't seen again. All Tufe knows is that the prisoners disappear inside the reformatory, and she only sees cultists leave.
This is it. Madame Wim said the amulet would guide us to Emperor Morika's soul. Go ahead and use it. A wisp! Let's follow it. don't think this is what the Longhouse Emperors expected when they made their bargain with Mehrunes Dagon. A hidden door. I think we need to go in there. That looks like some sort of forge. I wonder if it still works. Did you hear that? It sounded like it came from the furnace. The furnace door is sealed tight. Why would my amulet lead us here?
Open the door. Your Emperor commands it.
The same voice from my memory. Emperor Morikar. There's a discharge labrum there. We need to find and charge some lucents. I think we can open the furnace door by using lucents. I want to see what's inside. See if that voice really belongs to Emperor Morikar. It certainly sounded like the voice from my memory. Let's find some lucents and figure out how this works. You need to find some lucents, preferably charged ones. Otherwise, you need a dynamis font to charge them. Then place a charged lucent in the correct discharge labrum to release the energy and make something happen. In this case, I think it will ignite the furnace and open the door. That's my best guess, anyway. The door opened. All I see is a chunk of slag.
Obey your Emperor.
Before you try anything else, let's talk. There's no doubt about it. The voice came out of that chunk of slag. And it sounds just like Emperor Morikar's voice from my memory. He wants us to free him. Do you think we should? You've seen this place. It's all about torture. I think they fused the souls of the Emperors into that chunk of metal. Seems like a fitting punishment for anyone who incurred Mehrunes Dagon's wrath. But we need to free them to talk to them. We need to ignite the furnace to melt the slag. I spotted 2 more discharge labrums. If we take that charged lucent and stick it in one, that might get us halfway there. We'll need to find a second lucent, though. There are 2 other discharge labrums. If we can find another lucent, we might be able to ignite the furnace. I think we need to ignite the furnace to melt down that slag. Hopefully, that will release whoever is trapped inside, whether it's really Emperor Morikar or not. The furnace has 2 other discharge labrums connected to it. If we move the charged lucent you found to one of them, we'll need to find another lucent for the second. Once both are active, that should ignite the furnace. Look, up there, a lucent. Place the charged lucent in that discharge labrum by the wall. Over here, there's a dynamis font. Let's charge that lucent. That worked! The lucent is charged. Now place it in one of the discharge labrums.
released at last. Who must we thank for our freedom?
This is not freedom. No, simply a respite from the darkness. I remember the traitors at my gates, the blade of the usurper slicing through my flesh. But I hid them away. I did my best to fulfill the bargain. I am Leovic, last of the Longhouse Emperors. But who are you? You have the stink of the traitorous Varen about you. That snake. I knew he was coming. I knew I had to take action. Preserve the plan. Keep the secret. Salvage the contingency. It started with my grandfather. But it was my father who passed the responsibility to me. It was all part of the bargain the Black Drake made with Mehrunes Dagon. We would prepare the four ambitions, and in return, our family would rule forever. I took action. I moved the ambitions to new vaults. Safe vaults. But before I could do more, the usurper murdered me. And how did Mehrunes Dagon reward me? By locking me away in a block of metal. And the secret of the Longhouse Emperors died with me.
I still taste the blood of my enemies, those I crushed beneath my heel. This prison is an insult. I am a conqueror, a god in my own right. My teeth have shred the flesh of hundreds, thousands. I demand the respect I deserve. Has the mortal world already forgotten the name of Dirkarach, the Black Drake, first of the Longhouse Emperors? The plan was mine. Mine! The blood of the Reach sings with fury in my veins. How dare Mehrunes Dagon betray my legacy? Lies. You have the tongue of a liar, and I will rip it from your mouth. I will not be swayed by your words. I won't let you betray me. The power promised by the Pact is mine by right. You cannot have it. Away with you!
An eternity of agony. This was not what the Prince of Destruction promised. I did everything the Black Drake commanded. Everything the High Priest instructed. And I gave precise orders to my son. So why the torture? And why is the weapon here? Daughter? You mean the weapon? Why have you brought her here? You cannot let her fall into the hands of Mehrunes Dagon. He reneged on his promise to us. I see no reason to keep our part of the bargain now. You did not know? The girl is one of the four ambitions of Mehrunes Dagon. But she's not like the other three. Oh, no. I made a few modifications of my own to the High Priest's ritual. She is not just an ambition. She is my contingency. An emperor never relies on a single strategy. We were promised power if we delivered the ambitions at the appointed time, but Daedric princes are not to be trusted. So I prepared Maraid as a weapon that could deal with Dagon, should the need arise. My daughter, the fourth ambition, she's the key. Along with the other ambitions, she can call forth the power to banish Mehrunes Dagon. That was my contingency, in case the Prince of Destruction lied, and we needed to send him back to the Deadlands. The Anchorite? Is that what you call Maraid? Ha! Use her. Her and the ambitions. Bring my vengeance to the Prince who betrayed us. Go to the Isle of Joys, a retreat not far from here. All the details are there. Ah, someone comes. My ambitions.
I'm an ambition? One of those people Lyrinth was talking about? How is that possible?
We are not property or playthings, Morcar.
Sombren,
No!
You are what we created you to be.
You wanted a weapon? Then taste my power!
I'm Sombren.
Why?
Hey,
I almost
friend.
decided not to accompany Lyrinth, but now I'm glad she insisted. How else would I have gotten the opportunity to punish the Longhouse Emperors for what they did to us? Finding the last ambition? That's just a welcome surprise. I have no interest in more of their lies, and neither should you. I gave the Longhouse Emperors exactly what they wanted. My power. Besides, they'll reform in this place eventually. I just couldn't allow them to corrupt the last ambition. Those men were evil when they were alive. Do you think an existence of torture in the Deadlands would change that? The last ambition needs to learn from Kalia and me. I sense that same power inside her that courses through us. We belong together. A fantasy. We can't hope to stand against the Prince of Destruction. Look, I've learned a lot since last we spoke. Too much to explain and too little that you would understand. It's time for the ambitions to take our destiny in our own hands.
I didn't think Sombrin was going to do something so dramatic. You have to forgive him. He's been very intense lately. I'm not sure how else to describe it. When we first arrived in the Deadlands, he insisted he could help me control my powers, that I could practice without fear of hurting anyone. But lately he's been different. Almost desperate. He spends most of his time reading that strange book, searching desperately for answers. He's obsessed with our power, trying so hard to understand it. But the more frustrated he gets, the more he pulls away. And now, this. I'm worried about him. You must remember, the book Evely gave him, Lyrinth called it the Mysterium Xarxis. He's become obsessed with it. He's sure the answer to controlling our powers hides somewhere among its pages, and he pores over them at every opportunity. Not in the same way. I don't think he's having dreams or anything. Sombrin's always been passionate, but since Destron died, his rage has been growing, and the frustration and desperation makes that rage harder, sharper. And what he just did... I've tried, but he wants to protect me. He doesn't want to burden me with the weight he's carrying. I think he needs to work this out for himself. I just hope he can do that soon, before he lets that rage and frustration destroy him.
I am not all right with what just happened. Lyrinth and I managed to find Sombrin and Kalia. We convinced them to come with us. But I had no idea he was going to explode those poor ghosts. Did I hear correctly? The Anchorite is the last ambition? That's just... Did you have any idea? Well, I guess that makes it easy enough. Now we know where all the ambitions are. Did you learn anything else before Sombrin blasted them into non-existence? Wait a moment, I know that name. Remember Lyrinth had me comb through the Longhouse Emperor's documents? That name was listed as one of their hunting retreats. But I couldn't find any other information. Do you know where it is? That's why the map didn't make sense. It wasn't a map of Tamriel. It's the Deadlands. All right, my friend. Let's go see what we can find at the Isle of Joys. Mehrunes Dagon could move against us at any moment. Sure. Let me know when you're ready to go.
That man, Sombrin, he seems familiar. But why did he destroy the Emperors? There was so much more I wanted to ask, especially of Morikar. I can't quite bring myself to call him father. But what Morikar said, is it true? Am I an ambition? Maybe. But familiar or not, they're still strangers. We came here for answers. And while I learned something, it feels like all I got was more questions. Right. Morikar said the answers were waiting at the Isle of Joys. I have no idea where that might be. Look, your friend Evely wants to talk to you, and I need a moment to think this through. But don't worry, I'm with you to the end. I promise.
Are you ready to go explore the Isle of Joys?
You're one of us, Anchorite, and ambition. Do you know what that means?
I don't know a lot of things, it seems.
I can answer your questions. Come with us to a place meant only for ambitions. I'll show you.
No. We need to stay together.
I'm sorry, Lyrinth. I need to do this.
Damn it. That was a mistake that may cost us dearly. Mortals. Always so unpredictable. As annoying as that is, perhaps that's what keeps me so interested. You and Evely head to the Isle of Joys. See what you can find there. I will follow the Anchorite. I want to keep an eye on Sombren. No, and his erratic behavior worries me. Mortal minds were not meant to read the Mysterium, Xarxes. I'm wary about him separating the Anchorite from us as well. We're going to need her once you determine the nature of this contingency plan. My reaction is irrelevant. The Anchorite recently had her memories returned to her and has yet to make sense of them all. Now she discovers she's also an ambition of Mehrunes Dagon, and a tool of a father she didn't know. I understand her motivations. Have you not realized after all this time that I have my ways, little mortal? I found Sombren and Kalia once. I can do so again. In the meantime, you and Evely should search the Isle of Joys. We must discover this plan that Emperor Morikar spoke of.
If I were the Anchorite, I'd want answers too. I still have a bad feeling about this, though. Something about Sombren was off. I don't remember him being so quick to anger back in Blackwood. As much as I want to, no. Someone has to investigate the Isle of Joys. We should stick together and take care of that. Good to hear. I barely know her, so I wasn't sure. Besides, Kalia's with them. She'll keep Sombren from doing anything too crazy, I'm sure. We just have to trust that the Anchorite knows what she's doing. Everything will be fine. Now let's go! That's the island over there. This portal should get us across. Look, Imperial ruins. This must be the Isle of Joys. must have hunted Daedra. Search those ruins. Nimic? What's that? A map. It looks like... I think we found everything. Let's figure out what this stuff tells us. All right, this was a productive trip. At least Emperor Morikar's ghost didn't lie about leaving stuff here. Let's review what we found. Yeah, I noticed that straight away. Maybe they were part of a set, and this one was Emperor Morikar's? And look, it has some weird runes etched into the surface. It might be important. Hold on to it. What about that journal? Let me see. The Ego Nimic is some sort of name? Says it has the power to banish Mehrunes Dagon. That's huge. But whatever we need to access it isn't here. It's in the Anchorite's vault. I still can't believe she's an ambition. What about that map? Didn't we explore all the vaults in Blackwood? Wait a moment. I did read about one other vault. Doom Vault Volpanaz. It was cracked open and ransacked during Varen's revolution, so I assumed any ambition inside it was long gone. Really? You explored another vault without me? You're trying to make me look bad. What did you find? Tell me there was something there that connects to all this. Did you get to search it all? I guess if you'd found the key to a weapon that could banish Mehrunes Dagon in there, you would have told us about it. Well, we can't give up now. This is still worth looking into. Maybe this mark indicates a hidden portion of the vault that you didn't spot last time. We have to at least try. I'll meet you there. Good, you're here. Let's find the spot indicated on the map. What happened to this place? Look! Those runes are similar to the ones on the ring. There must be a connection. I knew that ring was important. All right, I guess we enter another portal. Is this where the anchorite used to live? It looks like someone else has been here recently. That's Sombrin's diary. I guess he and Kalia spent some time here. Did he write down anything that can help us? So Sombrin and Kalia came here at some point, after they left us and went to the Deadlands? I wonder what they were looking for. So, anything good in Sombrin's diary? He's not on the same level as the writer of the Investigator Vale stories, but his writing isn't bad. Interesting. Does he know about the egonymic? It doesn't seem like it. He just says he thinks something important is inside that chest. Hey now, positive thoughts! Let's examine the chest. Maybe the ring will help. It got us into this hidden chamber. Who knows what else it can do? This enchantment looks powerful. That's unusual. I have absolutely no idea what that is.
Mortals, we have a problem. That fool ambition. He will ruin everything. You both need to come with me. Sombrin has turned to Mehrunes Dagon, and he plans to take Kalia and the anchorite with him. We must stop him. How clear must I make it, little mortal? He has Kalia and the anchorite and is attempting to force them to go with him. He plans to present them all to the Prince of Destruction. We must get to an Ilarch summit and stop him. When I left to retrieve you, Sombrin was attempting to wrestle power from each of the other ambitions and take it for himself. He will turn that power over to Mehrunes Dagon unless we intervene. Quickly, through the portal. There is no time to waste.
Portals! I think I'm finally getting used to them. Let's go.
As before, the properties of this accursed mountain play havoc with my magic. Better if you make your own way from here.
Stupid Sombrin. Making us run all the way up this thing.
Over here, mortal. Sombren took Kalia and the Anchorite through that door.
Stop! This is insane! We're not coming with you.
This is not your concern! Only Mehrunes Dagon can teach us, help us control our powers. It's all in his book! I can't let you interfere. Destron, deal with them!
Destron? Sombren, what have you done?
You will not pass!
Let my memory
You let me die! I won't let that happen to Kalia!
Doing what's necessary, Kalia. For all of us. Your power is better off in my hands.
Sombren, leave her alone!
Sombren didn't expect you to fight back, Anchorite. Well done.
What did I just do?
We should go too. I will summon a portal to take us to Fargrave.
I didn't know I could do that. Open a portal out of thin air. I just couldn't let Sombren keep hurting Kalia. Well, I guess that proves it. I really am an ambition, whatever that is. I'm not sure. I just shoved him somewhere, away. Come on, let's get out of this place. Lyran's portal looks extremely inviting right about now.
Kalia and the Anchorite will be safe here. Come, little mortal. Let's talk. I did not expect Sombren to turn against us, or for him to try to take the power of the remaining ambitions. He now possesses the power of Destron and Kalia as well as his own. If he hands that power to Dagon, neither of us will like the results. I am still considering our options. At least we have the Anchorite, and she still has her powers. That is enough for now. You did well, mortal. Against all odds, you continue to prevail. Take this with my gratitude and prepare for what comes next. Now that we can confer in the relative safety of Madame Wim's establishment, tell me what you discovered on the Isle of Joys. Did the spirit of Emperor Morcar speak true? Is there a weapon that can be used against Mehrunes Dagon?